We are here at General Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts for this New England Football League Week 6 matchup as the Worcester Wildcats take on the Vermont Ravens. And we welcome you to the New England Football League here on the New England Broadcast Network, everybody. I'm Stephen Err. The Wildcats are coming off a very hard, tough-fought game against the still undefeated team, the Rhode Island Riptide, last week out in Crest, Rhode Island, in which they fell 21-20 after failing to convert 2 fourth-down conversions in that game. Meanwhile, the Ravens, they're still winless, searching for that first win. They're one of 2 teams that are remaining winless, along with the Connecticut Reapers. We'll get to them a little bit later in the broadcast. But the Ravens are looking to pull off an upset here today in Worcester as they take on these Wildcats who look to get back to 500. Kickoff from Worcester, Massachusetts coming up right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for Week 6 action here in the New England Football League from Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester Wildcats and the Vermont Ravens. The Ravens won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Jamal Jacobs kicks a short one, and that one's going to go out of bounds. So not the best start for Vermont. Let's see if they re-kick this football. But the kicker, again, number 80, Jamal Jacobs, kicked off for the Ravens, and that was, let's be frank, ladies and gentlemen, that was just terrible. We're going to zoom in now. Let's see. Oh, they're going to place the ball at the 45-yard line. So Worcester's offense coming out and having great field position to start this game. Again, week number 6 here in the New England Football League. You're watching a presentation of the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Stephen Err, broadcasting this game for the NFL. We saw the Worcester Wildcats last week out in Cranston, Rhode Island. They fell to the still undefeated Rhode Island Riptide, 21-20. They played a very close game. Bushy had a nice game. Alexander Gibbs-Perry had a nice game. The star running back for the Wildcats. He had 2 touchdowns. But unfortunately, like we talked about in the intro, it was the 2 fourth-down conversions that the Wildcats did not make that cost them the game. And now we have a first down here. We'll start this game. First down, ball at the 45-yard line. Midfield, actually. Excuse me. With the ball in midfield. First down, Worcester on the first play of the game. And there you go. Handoff to Gibbs-Perry. Cut to the right, almost at the left. Coming towards the outside line. He gets about 6 yards on that one. Janet Gibbs-Perry once again had 2 touchdowns in the loss against the Rhode Island Riptide, who wanted to prove to, I said 5-0 on social media. I meant 4-0. I forgot that they had a bye week. In week number 2, they had a very early bye week, and they just didn't play, obviously. I thought they were proved to 5. I thought they proved to 5-0 after the win last week, but I was mistaken. Rhode Island Riptide are 4-0, and unfortunately for them, they will not play today as the Connecticut Reapers were unable to secure a field for that game. That's the second time this season Connecticut has not been able to have a field. Second down, 3, ball at the 43. Bushy throws, short pass caught. It's number 27. That is David Jones. And Jones looks like he should have enough for a Worcester first down. So Worcester, it's been an up-and-down season for the 2021 NFL AA runner-ups. Well, they lost week 1, won week 2, or won week 1, lost week 2 and 3, won week 4, and lost week 5. And up and down all season long for the Wildcats. As we know, the Wildcats offensive coordinator here in the booth right next to us, so you might hear another voice besides mine. But that's okay. We all share the booth here at Foley Stadium. Well, it is officially a first down for Worcester. Ball is at the 40-yard line. So first down, Bushy in the shotgun, Gibbs-Perry in the backfield. There's Nicholas Selig in motion for Worcester. And Bushy fakes, throws in his area, pass is caught by Selig. A little out of his reach, but Selig's able to bring in the catch. And immediately brought down for a gain of just 3. So once again, for the second time this season and the third time overall, a game has been postponed due to field issues. Well, the game's been postponed. Well, the reason I say that is because the Connecticut Reapers, their week 2 game against the Vermont Ravens was also postponed due to them not having be able to secure a field. The game between the Western Mass Blitzen Bears and the Middleborough Cobras was moved to Middleborough, was then moved to 8 p.m. from 7:30, and then was postponed due to lightning in the Middleborough, Massachusetts area. So that game will be played Labor Day weekend. Stay tuned to NDBN for updates. Second down is 7 for the Wildcats. Bushy's going to run. He didn't even try to hand off to Gibbs-Perry. Bushy just runs it himself, still going. Breaking away. Tim Bushy inside the 30, and he's going to have... Looks like he should have enough for a Worcester first down. They're second on this drive, and they do. So it is a first down for the Wildcats. They're second here on the opening drive. So we've reached the 12-minute mark here in the first quarter. 12:10. You can see it from the left of your screen. A whistle here. First down, Worcester. Now 12 minutes. There you go. As we get away from the camera, from the scoreboard there. Zoom in just a little bit so you get your best possible view here on the New England Broadcast Network. First down, Worcester. Ball at the 28-yard line. And another fake. Bushy throws short, pass caught. And actually dropped. And there's Jones again. He drops that one. So the first incompletion of the day for Tim Bushy. Had completed his first couple passes. Threw a touchdown last week. Also had some nice passes, but it was really Gibbons Perry leading the offense last week with 2 rushing touchdowns. Of course, what do you expect from one of the best running backs in the league? Unfortunately, once again, 2 failed 4th down conversions led to a 1-point loss against the Rhode Island Riptide last week out in Cranston. Second down now for Worcester. Ball is still at the 28. We're at 11-11 left in the first quarter. Scoreless. Bushy over the middle. Pass caught. Still going. The receiver still going. Being dragged to the 5. Down to about the 5-yard line. And there he is again. Another one of the guys who had a great game for Worcester last week. Tim O'Neill. Dragging defenders all the way down to the 5-yard line. Especially ball placed officially at the 6-yard line. So it'll be first and goal for Worcester. And now a whistle. Now we're ready for the next play. Looks like the Wildcats running a little no huddle here. First and goal, ball to 6. Moving down the field on this opening drive. And a handoff to Gibbs Perry, cutting out to the left. Breaking off tackles, and then finally... Oh, he's in for the touchdown! Touchdown, Worcester! Xander Gibbons Perry leading off where he left off last week in Cranston. Scoring on the opening drive. And it's 6-0 Worcester, just like that. Gibbons Perry's 3rd rushing touchdown in the last 2 games. And now coming off of the extra point, it's the kicker from 2022. It's James Viana, number 89. Wildcats did have number 28, Brian Bortfield, listed as kicker on the website. But I knew as soon as I got here and I saw a big number 89, I knew that was their kicker. Just like he was last year. And he's looking to make it 7-0 here. We have 10-16 left in the first. It's hard to apologize for the camera. Flag is down. Kick is good. I assume, well, the Worcester's going to decline this penalty, and they will. Xander Gibbons Perry from 6 yards out. A quick first drive for the Wildcats, and they lead 6-0. We'll be right back. You're watching the NEFL right here on NEBN. 7-0 Worcester early on. About a 5-play, 55-yard drive. Xander Gibbons Perry. A 6-yard touchdown for the first score of the game. The kickoff here by Viana is taken by number 81. Get your name here in a moment for number 81 as he's cutting out back to the right. And finally brought down about the 22-yard line. Brought down by Hector Maldonado. We'll get you a name for number 81 here as we continue this game. Again, Worcester leads 7-0. Xander Gibbons Perry, a 6-yard touchdown as you zoom in. 6-yard touchdown on a 5-play drive that ran just 55 yards after or 50 yards, okay. I forget the ball was placed in midfield after the kickoff went out of bounds. It is first down for the Wildcat, for the Ravens on their first offensive drive. Sam Lampier is the man that returned the kick. Let's see who's in a quarterback here for Vermont. Remember the last time we saw the Vermont Ravens was the 2022 New England Football League Maritime Conference Championship game. They took on the Mass Warriors, and they started 3 different quarterbacks in that game. Or they played 3 different quarterbacks, and they lost 35-7. First down Vermont. The quarterback is Roy Rose III. And handoff here. Big hole up the middle for the running back. Can't see the number. Let's see. Look, I see a 7 number. That'd be number 27. That'd be Camden Benoit. So Camden Benoit on the carry. I'm not sure if he's related to Mr. Matthew Benoit, who had an interception for the Rhode Island Riptide when we were out there in Cranston week number 3 against the Reapers. Might just be coincidence, but Camden Benoit takes the handoff from Rose on first down, and he gets 6. A nice hole up the middle. Credit to the offensive line for Vermont. So again, last time we saw the Ravens, October 1st, 2022, they were in Wayland for the 2023 New England Football League Maritime Conference Championship game. 3 different quarterbacks combined for 5 interceptions as Mass won 35-7 over Vermont. Obviously, not the season that Vermont wanted this year. They're now 0-3 and face a 2nd down and 4 here on this on the second play. And a free play here for Vermont. Rose fakes, chucks it down the sideline, and intercepted. That's not going to count. Pass is picked by number 3 for Worcester. But that is not going to count. Let's see, we have a number 3 on our roster. We do. That's Michael Supiner Jr., who had a great game last week in Cranston. Did not have an interception, but he came close to one. And he also had a couple pass breakups. And there you go, the ref saying offside on Worcester. So Vermont kind of gets a break there on the free play. Rose just chucked it up down the right sideline. The pass was intercepted by Supiner Jr., but of course it does not count. So we zoom in just a little bit more here, get you the best possible angle of everybody going on down there. Everything going on down there. And the clock, too. 8:55 counting, first quarter. 7-0 Worcester. Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens here in week number 6 in the 2023 New England Football League season. Rose fumbled the snap, gets it back. Now he's going to roll it out. Pressure, down he goes. And there is the big man, number 58. We just talked about the Supiners. There's Ryan Supiner coming up with the sack. So Michael Supiner with the interception, called back. Ryan Supiner, his brother, says, I got you, bro. And that is a sack. It's going to bring up 2nd down, and it should actually be 3rd down and 18. It says reach 2nd down and 18. As of right now, the scoreboard says 2nd down and 18. It should read 3rd down and 18. Whereas I like to say, is if you've been watching the NFL this year on the NABN, 3rd in a minivan. Looks like we have a marker. No, the marker also says 2nd down, so we're going to go with that. All right. 2nd down and 18 from the 26. Rose over the middle. Caught. Number 15 with the grab. Still going down. He went down about the 45-yard line. A great play there. Pass is caught by Grant Protowski. And that is a big first down for Vermont, facing a 2nd down and 18. And they get about 18. So how you like them apples? And a whistle blown. So I heard something about timeout, but the clock's still running, so there is no timeout. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the scoreboard yourself, ladies and gentlemen. 7:19 left in the first quarter already. 7-0 Worcester, a 5-play, 50-yard drive, led by, or Cats, I should say, by a 6-yard touchdown from Xander Gibbons-Perry. Of course, the big play finding Tim Bushy, finding Tim O'Neill. Tim to Tim. Gotta love it. First down, Vermont. Ball at the 46. And Rose fakes. Throws over the incomplete. Just out of the reach on number 26. That is Michael Melvin, who cannot come up with that one. Clock now stops. 6:49 left. So we're speaking about field issues here. Not only, and this is good news and bad news type of deal. The good news is with the Western Mass Blitzen Bears, who are not able to play at Holyoke High School this summer due to renovations, they have found a home field. It's called the Ruth Elizabeth, or Elizabeth Ruth Field, at the Ruth Elizabeth Playground in Springfield, Massachusetts, just outside of Holyoke, not too far, about the next town over. But according to Troy Chen Jr., and I'm quoting him, so don't quote me on this, ladies and gentlemen, this field trash. So there might be a problem out there as the West Mass Blitzen Bears host the Glen Falls Green Jackets this night. 2nd down handoff to the fullback, number 27. There's Benoit again, who took the first carry. And that 3rd down coming up for Vermont as we reach 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. You are watching a presentation of the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Stephen Herr. We're here at General Foley Stadium, Berkshire Bank Field at Holy Stadium to be exact, here in Worcester, Massachusetts. Back where it all began for me last year, being the play-by-play broadcaster for the Worcester Wildcats, as they went to be the 3rd seed in the NAFL postseason, falling to the Southern Vermont Storm in the semifinal out in Bennington, Vermont. 3rd down and 8 from the 48 for Vermont. 5.5 left first quarter.
Tell them to play inside.
Rose, pressure coming. Rose, caught, number 16 with the grab. Big first down, another one for Vermont, and he's finally brought down about the 33-yard line. Pass is caught by looks like number 16. That is Cooper Simmons, who is also listed as a quarterback, but today we're seeing Roy Rose III as the starting quarterback for Vermont. So a bit of the big first down, and the Ravens are driving here on their first drive here in the game. looking to tie this one up with under 5 minutes. As you can see, the scoreboard slowly going away on your screen as we point our camera at where the action is about to go down. So again, the ball is officially placed at the 33-yard line. It is first down Vermont. I was talking to Vermont's videographer before the game. She told me that last week Vermont lost 18-12 to the New England Bombers after a fumble was picked up for a touchdown with just 3 seconds left, leading to a victory for the Bombers. Hand off here to Benoit. He's wrapped up almost immediately. And number 70, the big man for Worcester. Let's get you a name here, if we have one. Number 70. We don't. So number 70 with the tackle there. Nice tackle there. So again, Vermont so close to their first victory last weekend against the New England Bombers. Unfortunately, a fumble, return for a touchdown with just 3 seconds left gave the Bombers an 18-12 victory, and the Ravens, the 2022 New England Football League Maritime Conference runner-ups, are now 0-3 on the season. Luckily for them, however, they are a playoff team nonetheless because there are only 4 teams in the Maritime Conference. All 4 teams are headed to the postseason, so congratulations to the Ravens. Headed to the playoffs before we even get there. Second down at 11, only loss of 1 on that one. Rose, pressure, throws, almost intercepted, and Shaquille Agbanyo was the only man in the vicinity. Lamp here was the only receiver in the vicinity, but even he wasn't even close to that football. Clock continued to run here with 3.5 left in the first quarter. It's going to be third down, 11, balls at the 34. I'm kind of surprised that that tackle there by number 70 was only a 1-yard loss. Looked like it was at least maybe 3 or 4. But that's why I'm up here and they're down there. Not a referee, ladies and gentlemen, so don't worry about it. We've reached the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. 7-0 Worcester. Wildcats looking to get back to 500 for the 3rd time this year. Vermont facing a third down and 11. Rose, pressure going to roll out. He's going to run. Rose flagged down, and he's finally wrapped up, and he's going to be well short over first. But now we have a flag down. Let's check the penalty. And from one of the guys on the Ravens side, it looks like it's going backwards, or will be declined. Nonetheless, it looks like it's against Vermont. There are 3 flags on the field. Wow. We have multiple penalties. Let's check. 2:46 left in the first. Oh, it's a face mask against Worcester. So that's an automatic first for the Ravens. Another break for Vermont's offense as they continue their drive. That's a 15-yarder. That's going to bring the ball into the red zone, about the 19-yard line. But we follow, as we always do, we follow the action here. And a whistle. No, it's the whistle that's saying we're ready to go. So the ball is actually placed at the 16-yard line. That was about an 18-yard penalty. First down Vermont, ball to 16. 2.5 left in the first quarter. That's going to be an false start. They blew the flag. They blew the whistle. And it is a false start against Vermont. It looked like it might have been another offside against Worcester, but usually you can tell when it's one or the other because if they do not stop the play, it is a offside against the defense. If they do stop the play, it's a false start against the offense. So this time, Vermont's called for the penalty, and they're backing up 5 more yards. Back to the 21-yard line. So first to 15. 2:13 left here in the first quarter. 7-0 Worcester here at Berkshire Bank Field at Foley Stadium, Worcester, Massachusetts. A beautiful stadium. One of the most beautiful stadiums here in the league. Goes up there with Cranston Stadium out in Cranston, Rhode Island. Wayland High School in Wayland, Massachusetts, home of the Mass Warriors. And if they did play there this year, I would say Holyoke High School, home of the Western Mass Blitzen Bears. Unfortunately, they do not play there in 2023. Hoping next year they will. First and 15. Rose fakes, pumps, throws over the middle, has a man. It is almost intercepted. And there he is again, Superner Jr., Michael Superner Jr. almost coming away. Another would-be pick for Michael Superner Jr. He had a couple of those last week against the Riptide. But he is definitely one of the better guys out there in coverage. He's doing a great job covering his men. So 1.5 left first quarter. It's going to be second down 15. Clock continuing to run here. So I mentioned it last week when we were out in Rhode Island watching the Wildcats. They don't have a few of their key guys for 2022, including guys like Festus Connor Jr. and Michael Seifert. But they do have some stars that have really shined here, such as Tim O'Neill, who had a great game last week, had the big play on the first drive for Worcester this game. And a few other guys. Second out of 15, final minute, first quarter. Rose, pressure coming, throws, it is caught. What a grab, number 15. And he's going to go into the end zone. It is touchdown, Vermont. And what a play there for Grant Brotowski. Looks like, I should say he mossed the receiver, or the defender, excuse me. And he found nothing but green grass in front of him, and he went right into the end zone. And we are an extra point away from a tie game here in Worcester. A nice move there again by Brotowski, spinning away from the defender, and nothing but green grass in front of him. Looked like kind of like a blown coverage, because there was nobody else after that one defender to stop Brotowski from diving into the end zone. So now, let's check the Ravens kicker here. If we have one for Vermont, we should, somewhere around here on my list, be Jamal Jacobs. Listed also as the punter and the tight end. So Jacobs to tie this game. And the kick is good. 7-up, 49 seconds left. Rose, Brotowski for the touchdown. It is 7-7. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. You might or might not be able to see what that sign says out there. It says WPS. That stands for Worcester Public Schools, because there are a multitude of high schools here in Worcester, Massachusetts, including North High School, who won the men's basketball championship this year, South High School, Doherty High School, Burncoat High School, just to name a few. But anyway, the point is, many varsity men's football teams, I should say, play football here at Foley Stadium during the fall. So we'll be here a few times this year to check that out. Both teams have scored on their opening possessions. Alexander Gibbs Perry scoring for Worcester, and Roy Rose throwing a touchdown on the Ravens' first possession, finding Grant Brotowski. It is 7-7 with 49 seconds left here in the first quarter. So, well, this is not the game of the week this week. That game's out in Wayland between the Warriors and the Cobras. We'll get to that in a second. Still an entertaining first quarter thus far. Here's Givens Perry taking the kickoff for the Wildcats, wrapped up at the 33-yard line. So once again, the game of the week this week in week number 6 for the New England Football League is the Mass Warriors taking on the Middleborough Cobras, who, by the way, I was a little surprised by this when I was doing my research for this game and for the league in general. The Middleborough Cobras are in second place in the North Atlantic Division. I was very surprised that the Cobras were doing so well. I had no idea. I didn't know because they called the game for them. We'll call at least one more game for them, if not 2, this season. But as of right now, as the game goes on, as this one goes on as well, the Middleborough Cobras are in second place in the North Atlantic Division. The West Warriors, with the 34-14 loss last week, in what was supposed to be a big game against the Glens Falls Green Jackets, fall to third place in the division after a 34-14 loss. First down, Worcester. Bushy hands off to Gibbs Perry, cut to the left side, and ripped up. What a play there for number 27. There's Benoit again. Camden Benoit with the tackle. He got Gibbs Perry by his foot. What a tackle. Wow, that was pretty impressive. And let's see if the Wildcats run another play here. As you can see, top area of your screen, we have 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Let's see if the Wildcats run another play, or if they take this one to the second quarter. And if they do, well, it's been one very entertaining first quarter between two teams looking to find their way here in 2023, and they will. So here we go. Second and 11, 3 seconds left. Handoff to Gibbs Perry. Perry up the middle, and still going. Breaking off tackles, finally brought down at the 40, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the first quarter. So like I said, what an entertaining fourth quarter it has been. Both teams score on their opening possession. What's Wildcats 7? Vermont Ravens 7. We'll be right back for the second quarter. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. Start of the second quarter, ladies and gentlemen. The Worcester Wildcats and the Vermont Ravens are tied at 7. Both teams score on their opening drives. And now Worcester, with their second drive, face a third down and 3 here at the 40. Bushy fakes, pumps, throws over the middle, and pass is, they're saying it's a catch. A diving attempt there And there is Yanni Politis with the first down, the tight end for the Wildcats. Another returner from 2022. He has the first down for Worcester. That was about a gain of about 15 yards. Unfortunately, no instant replay here in the NFL. So the Ravens, if they like to argue it, they just simply can't. It was a nice diving grab by Yanni Politis for the first down. Gain of 15, ball first 10 at the 45. I apologize, by the way, for the buzzing noise. I tried fixing it all before the game. Unfortunately, I just couldn't figure out why there was a buzzing noise. So just listen to the sound of my voice, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you need to hear. First down, 45-yard line. And Jones in motion, pitch out to Jones. David Jones now running toward the left, down the left sideline, and finally knocked out of bounds inside the 35, and a flag. They're going to get Benoit for a late hit out of bounds on Jones. So 27 on 27. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Vermont. So the Ravens had some penalties go their way on the last drive. Now the Wildcats are having some flags go their way on this first drive. There you go, personal foul against Vermont. And again, I do apologize for the buzzing noise, ladies and gentlemen. Just follow the sound of my voice and enjoy the broadcast. Hoping you all are. 13:58 left first half. It is 7-7. Wildcats getting a big gain. Let's see where they put the ball now. It's at the 19-yard line, so keep following as we always do here. First down, Worcester, ball at the 19-yard line. And now Jones going once again in motion. Three receivers, you see him up top to the... And hand off to Perry. Give it to Perry. Met by a flock of Ravens. Lose the football. The refs are going to say he was down. Or was that even the full loss of the football? He did lose the football. It was picked up by number 50. So another break there for Worcester's offense as number 50 recovers that fumble. For a second there, I saw the ball come out, and then I saw a helmet pop off. I'm like, wait, did the ball come out or the helmet come off? Apparently, both came off. But luckily, again, where the offensive lineman looked like for Worcester was able to pick that one up. It's a gain of 6, second down and 4, ball to 13. 7-7 here, 13 minutes left in the first half. Both teams score on their opening drives. Worcester looking to score on their first 2 drives.
Now everybody see the guys coming in the box.
There's Sella going in motion for Worcester. As another handoff here to Perry. Gives Perry, comes up the middle. And Perry is in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Wildcats. Givens Perry had 2 touchdowns last week. He has 2 touchdowns here as in the first minute and a half, 2.5 minutes in the second quarter. Worcester back on top, 13-7. Now here come the special teams once again. James Viana looking to make this a 14-7 game. We have 12:37 left here in the first half. And apologize for the buzzing noise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that fixed for next week's game, which we have a huge game. We'll get to that later on in this one. A huge game next week. Stay tuned and find out where we're going. You don't want to miss it. For now, we have James Viana coming off for the extra point. Low snap, kick it. Ooh. Good. Givens Perry, his second touchdown of the game. And the Wildcats lead 14-7. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. 14-7 Wildcats. 12:37 left here first half. We are at General Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. You're watching a presentation of the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. I am Stephen R. broadcasting this game. Here, again, General Foley Stadium, Worcester, Massachusetts. Kick away by Viana. Taken by Benoit. And gets to about the 32-yard line. Wrapped up by number 32, Alan Britton, who had an interception last week against the Rhode Island Riptide. I apologize, by the way, for the windows, ladies and gentlemen. The window space we get here at General Foley Stadium, while this is a beautiful stadium, we appreciate the booth access we get from the Worcester Public Schools and all that. The window space is very, very narrow. So there might be instances you might see as we move our camera around, not now, but in general, you might see the windowsill or the window frame. I think that's what it's called, the window frame. You might see that in our shots. So we do apologize in advance. It's kind of out of our control. But nonetheless, we have an entertaining game here. It's 14-7 Worcester with 12:29 left here in the first half. The Vermont Ravens come out for their second drive. And they'll start with the ball at the 36-yard line. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. And a handoff here, and immediately wrapped up. And it looks like... See, we have number 77. Get you a name here. Number 70, that is Robert Norris, wrapping him up. Leading the way. Also there, once again, was Ryan Supiner. Loss of 2. It'll be second down to 12, ball at the 34. We are at the 12-minute mark here in the first half. 14-7 Worcester Wildcats. Sandy Givens Perry already leading the way with 2 rushing touchdowns here in the first half. He had 2 all game long last week in Rhode Island. Another thing I want to mention here, it's a beautiful night here in Worcester. Last week we talked about the game between Middleborough Cobras and the Western Mass Blitzen Bears was delayed due to lightning in the area. There was also rain earlier in the day in Cranston. Now that's Darius Givens who's going to be called for an offside. And a little shoving, and Roy Rose threw the ball in the face of Norris. Let's see if the refs are going to throw another flag here. They're not. From what we saw here, Norris initiated, continuing going off even after the whistle was blown. Rose then pursued to throw the football in Norris's face. And in the end, it's an offside against Worcester, and nothing more, nothing less. That could have been a little more. But the refs are just letting these guys play ball. Sometimes it's just what you got to do. Let's let the guys play ball. Second down at 7 at the 39-yard line. 11:25 left in the first half. Rose throws to the sideline, tipped away and incomplete. There's the new guy, number 19. We don't have a name for number 19. We didn't see him last week. But he comes away there with the pass breakup. Looked like he almost had an interception there as well. So not the best throw there by Rose. It'll be third down and 7 with 11:11 here in the first half. 14-7 Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens. And I kind of make the joke. The 2021 Worcester Wildcats went 10-0. Hosted the AA championship game here at Foley Stadium and fell to the Western Mass Blitzen Bears. The Vermont Ravens lost the 2022 Maritime Conference Championship game to the Mass Warriors, and now both teams are sort of just looking to find their way here in 2023. Third and 7. Rose. Pressure. Throws as he's grabbed. Passes incomplete. Broke it up by number 0. Intended for, looks like number 15. That's Brotowski, who had the touchdown for Vermont. Let's see what the Ravens offense. Let's see what the Ravens do here. Are they going to punt or are they going to go for it? Be the first fourth down we're seeing here. We have 10:30 left in the first half. Had yet to see a fourth. And it looks like there's Jacobs. So the Ravens. We're going to zoom out here as we get you the best punt camera as possible. We saw a nice punt camera in week 1 as Western Mass Blitzen Bears fumbled on a punt return. Warriors recovered, returned it, and turned it into a touchdown as they went out to win over the Blitzen Bears, 37-13. We've reached the 10-minute mark here in the first half. Slow snap. That's a fumble, and Worcester recovers. So no chance for Jacobs to even punt the football. A low snap recovered by number 24 for the Wildcats. Again, let's get you a name if we have one. Let's check. Number 24, that is Noberto Rowland. I knew I was going to mess that up. Noberto Rowland, not Roberto Nolan. So Worcester with great field position, and we'll take a very quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the NFL right here on NDBN. 14-7 Worcester, 9:54 left first half. A botched snap on the punt by the Ravens gives the Worcester great field position. They have the ball at the 24-yard line of Vermont as they start this third drive. And Bushy fakes, probes, chucking end zone, has a man wide open, touchdown Worcester! And it's David Jones with the touchdown. Wide open, right at the goal line. And Worcester leads at 20-7. One play for the touchdown. We saw this last week. Went against the Wildcats as Luis Gonzalez found Tim Walker for a one-play touchdown. And now here on this drive, Worcester gets their own one-play drive for a touchdown. And now we can make it 21-7. Remember, a fumble last week cost them a game 18-12 against the New England Bombers. And now a botched snap on a punt makes it a 14-point game. Flag is down, the kick is up, kick is good. Now let's see the flag. I assume it's against Vermont again to be the second time Vermont's called for a penalty on the extra point, and they are. 9:46 left first half. Bushy throws his first touchdown of the night. Goes to David Jones, and the Wildcats lead 21-7. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. Now this seems new this year. It looks like Foley Stadium has dedicated to this field, this stadium, in memory of Dr. Francis H. Carr. I don't remember seeing that last year, but what a nice thing honoring the memory, again, of Dr. Francis H. Carr. 21-7 Worcester, 9:46 left in the first half. Tim Bushy on a one-play drive for the touchdown, finding one of his running backs, David Jones, wide open about the 1 yard line, and David Jones just walks into the end zone as Viana now for the kick. Nice kick there by James Viana. One taken again by Benoit. Benoit cut to the left side, it looks like. Cutting away, still breaking tackles. And Camden Benoit finally wrapped up about the 30-yard line. Looking for a second there, he might have been able to break it open, but obviously he wasn't able to. But Vermont coming out for their third drive. The last one obviously ended with a botched snap on the punt. And on the next play, Tim Bushy once again found David Jones for the touchdown. 9:35 now in the first half. 21-7 Worcester leads the Vermont Ravens. Ravens searching for win number 1. And the good news again for the Ravens, they are still a playoff team, whether they win a game this season or not. Because there are 4 teams in the Maritime Conference. So it doesn't really matter. Of course it matters for this team. They want to win games. But even if they don't win a game during the regular season, that just leads for more exciting storylines in the postseason. So they'll most likely go up to Rhode Island, take on the Riptide, and if they can pull off a monumental upset, they'll be headed to the championship game on September 30th. First down at the 30. Rose. Pressure. And wow, what a hit there. Darius Givens bringing him down. A big sack there for Darius Givens, who plays 3 positions here on defense for the Wildcats. He gets the big one there. And it's going to be a loss of 6, officially. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. Get you the best possible video we can here on the New England Broadcast Network. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. That's much better. So it's going to be second down at 16. As we mentioned, the other win this team, by the way, the Connecticut Reapers could not secure a field for today's game against the Riptide, so that game has been postponed, per the league. And I made a mistake in the intro. I said there were 2 win-this teams left, besides the Vermont and Connecticut Reapers. There's also the Western Mass Blitzen Bears. They are 0-4. They technically have the worst record in the league. So, my apologies, folks. Second down, Rose pumps over the middle. Knocked away. Nice play there. And there's Hector Maldonado coming away with that one. Oh, excuse me, besides Boykin. They got like 3 number 8s here for Worcester. Kind of hard to see who's who. Yeah, Yanni Politis, the tight end, who also plays defense. Tyus Boykin plays wide receiver and defense. And then you have Hector Maldonado, who's also added to the Worcester. Oh, excuse me, Hector Maldonado's with the Ravens, so apologies, folks. So it's Tyus Boykin, the wide receiver. There's also Hector Maldonado, number 8 for Worcester. 8-minute mark anyway. Third and a minivan. Now I could say it. 21-7, Worcester leads. And their defense faces a big third down and 16. Rose, pressure. There goes Politis. And now Rose is going to run. Break it. Stiff arm by Rose, and he is going to be well short of a first down. He gets about 7 yards on a third down 16. So now for the second consecutive drive, the Ravens come up short. Last time we saw them try to punt, they fumbled the snap. Well, let's see. It looks like their offense actually can stay out there. So we're going to zoom out just a little bit, just so we have a big play here. You never know. Always got to be prepared. As we have reached the 7-minute mark here in the first half. This is going to be a big 4th down for the Ravens offense. They don't want to go down 3 scores here, should Worcester score on the next drive. Once again, Vermont's offense staying out on the field on this 4th down and 9.
He's going to be looking for 15.
And Rose looked like he was paying attention, rolling out pressure, and down he goes. No way, Jose. He was not going anywhere. Into the arms, there he is again, Robert Norris with the sack. And that's what Vermont's offense did not need to happen, but Worcester's defense will take it. Worcester comes back on offense, leading by 14, 6:37 left first half. We'll be right back. You're watching the NFL right here on NDBN. 6:37 left first half. The Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 21-7 here on the New England Football League, week number 6. Here on the New England Broadcast Network, I'm Steven, broadcasting this game here at General Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. As David Jones goes in motion. Might be a little bit of confusion there from Bushy. First down at the 26, and a handoff here to Perry. Gives Perry up the middle, breaking tackles, and finally brought down about the 21, so a gain of 5. Tackle there by number 26. Gets to a name, and we have a whistle down, and we have a Wildcat down. And that is not good. That is Tim O'Neill down for the Wildcats. Looks like... Oh, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. Good news, Tim O'Neill was able to walk out off the field under his own power. It's a little limp on the ankle area. But I'll make the joke every time. Looks like Tim O'Neill watches a lot of Worcester Rails hockey. Second down and 4 to 20. Bushy hands off to Gibbons Perry. Perry up the middle, has a hole. Down to Gibbons Perry to the end zone. His 3rd touchdown of the night. And what else is new with this guy? I said this about Justin Pittman for the Jersey Bearcats back in 2019. Pittman had a bunch of interceptions in the Bearcats 2019 inaugural season. Gibbons Perry with his 3rd rushing touchdown in the first half, and the Wildcats have blown this game open. It is 27-7 with 5:51 left in the half. I imagine how much more workload we'll give Gibbons Perry in this game. 21 consecutive points here for the Worcester offense, as Vermont has failed on 2 consecutive 4th downs. There's James Viana off the extra point. Low snap, fumbled it. And Boardhead's going to pick it up, and he's going to be tackled. Brian Boardhead, the place kicker, unable to make the extra point. So it remains a 27-7 game. Gibbons Perry, his 3rd touchdown of the half. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. The all-important beverage, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I was questioning, somebody had mentioned something about hydrating playing video games. I was wondering why. Now I understand. Hydrate while even broadcasting, especially if you're playing sports, you obviously want to hydrate. 21 consecutive points by this Wildcat offense. They lead 27-7 over the Vermont Ravens. 5:51 left here in the first half. This is week number 6 in the New England Football League's 2023 season. Watching a broadcast from the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Steven, our broadcasting this game. We are here at General Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts, as this kickoff takes a roll to about the 15-yard line. Here's Benoit. And Camden Benoit, again, there's the window frame. We do apologize, folks. Again, we warned you. And now a little extracurricular activity. We're going to zoom in, get away from that window frame. There's extracurriculars going on over here. We saw that last week with the Wildcats. Little extracurriculars against the Vermont Riptide. But we won't talk about that here on the broadcast. 5:43 left first half. The Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 27-7. Ravens traveled looks like about 15 guys. So traveling very lightly. Of course, Burlington, Vermont being a 3-4 hour trip from here, so it takes a lot out of guys. And you got to travel that far. Nonetheless, they did score on their first drive. They had a very impressive first drive. They just haven't done anything else on their last 2 drives. Humbling a snap on the punt, and then not converting a 4th down. But to Worcester points. We're going to zoom in a little bit. First down, Vermont. Ball is at the 26. And Rose, pressure, rolling. Now he's going to run, and he's wrapped up. Only got a couple of yards, maybe 3. Wrapped up by number 26. Looks like Al Price. Another member of the 2022 Worcester Wildcats. Making that tackle. 5:25 left. So officially a gain of 6. Second and 4. Ball at the 28-yard line. Again, both these teams just trying to find their way here in 2023, despite both teams making the postseason. Because Western Mass Blitz and Bears are 0-4 right now. So it would be a miracle if Worcester fell to last place in the AA Champ Conference. The pass is caught. And a nice grab there. Number 81 there is Lampier again. The first time we're calling his name here on offense for the Ravens. And let's see if he has enough for a first down. You see the marker there on the bottom of your screen. And apparently it is a first down for the Ravens.
Oh my goodness, that was generous.
The offensive coordinator here for Worcester is calling it a generous spot. But nonetheless, first down Vermont. Ball at the 36. 4.5 left here in the first half. They trail by 20. 27-7. Gibbs Perry has 3 rushing touchdowns here tonight for the Wildcats. Rose taking on the keeper, and he's going to be wrapped up. Number 70 again coming in, making that tackle. I'm not sure what Rose was trying to. It looked like he was trying to pitch it out. We have extracurriculars here again between these two teams. Number 19, there's Lampier again. I do believe that's Lampier. Let's give it just a name here. I'm sorry, number 19 is Fred Graves. Getting into it with one of the Wildcats guys down there. 3:40 left first half, second and 16, so a 6-yard loss. Again, it looked like confusion there from Rose. Looked like he was trying to option it to his running back, but the running back wasn't even paying attention. There was a little confusion there. We have 3.5, we have 20 left in the first half. I'm surprised we have not heard. Neither team has called timeout yet. That's a little surprising. Rose, pressure rolling out, throws short and incomplete. Wow, what was that? Intended for Benoit, I think. Oh, Michael Melvin again. Excuse me, Michael Melvin is the intended target, 10 target. And Melvin had some green grass in front of him too. So there's a flag down. So this looked like it came after the play. Let's check it. And then they're calling intentional grounding against Rose. Did not even think about that, but Rose apparently threw the ball past the line of scrimmage. Therefore, it is a loss of downs. It is a 10-yard penalty, and it is third down and a minivan once again here for Vermont, who trailed 27-7 with 3:07 left in the first half. Ball now back at the 25-yard line. So while Vermont had a very nice first drive, nothing has gone their way here thus far outside of that first drive. 3 minutes and counting here, first half. Third down and 16, ball at the 25. Rose, pressure coming. I don't think he doesn't see it. And brought down. Looks like number 61. Bringing him down. Let's see if we have a number 61 here. Actually, might be up at 31. That might be Agbanyo. No, it is 61. Again, we'll keep searching for that number 61 if we have one here. We do not. Doesn't look like. So credit to number 61 for the sack. We don't have the name, unfortunately. And the third consecutive drive as the Ravens are facing a fourth down. And let's see. They're probably going to run this one down to the 2-minute warning. Vermont Ravens getting ready to punt again. Oh, no. They let the clock run. Yeah, ref's saying let the clock run.
Somebody should be going just in case.
I'm surprised we're not seeing a 2-minute warning here. I guess I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to have the punt. A flag is down. The kick is nice kick there by Jacobs, and it takes a Vermont bounce. Still going. And still going. And finally down at about the 41-yard line. But there is a flag. Let's check the penalty. We're going to bring the camera over to where the refs are, right over there. There you go. And wait for the call. Looks like this flag actually might be against the Wildcats. Well, let's check. Have one of the referees pointing to the Worcester's direction. 1:39 left first half. The Wildcats lead the Ravens 27-7. You're watching a presentation of the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Stephen Err, calling this game at where I called games all of 2022. Berkshire Bank Field at Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. So it looks like it was actually an offside against Vermont. So once again, nothing going Vermont's way here. Outside of that first drive, we're going to stick here with you. We have 1:30 left in the first half. This is the fifth drive. Almost said fourth. This is the fifth drive. Worcester is coming out once again. They have scored on all four possessions, thus far in this game. Danny Gibbons-Perry has 3 rushing touchdowns, and Tim Bushy on one play drive found David Jones for a wide open touchdown. And that's why we stand here in Worcester. Yeah, game of the week is out in Wayland, Warriors and the Cobras, but I have reasons for why I did not go to Wayland this week. Get to that in the second half. And now a whistle. The stoppage of play here gets still 139. The ball's at the 41, so you can see at the top of your screen. Again, the Worcester Mass Blitzen Bears are hosting their first home game, legit home game of the season against the Glens Falls Green Jackets at Ruth Elizabeth Field in Springfield. There are no bleachers, but hey, a field's a field. So glad to see Worcester Mass has been able to clean their act a little bit. Obviously, the Holyoke thing is out of their jurisdiction. They were unable to do anything about that, but they did find a field, so that's good to hear. First down, Worcester, ball at the 41. Bushy pumps, chucking it down the sideline, has 2 men. If pass is caught and dropped. Oh, David Jones. Jones was there. He had the football, and it just went out of his hands. Clock stopped. 1:32 left here in the first half. So a chance there for another big play, and unfortunately, no go. And we do apologize for the buzzing you might be hearing. It might just be on my end. I hope it's just on my end, but if it's on your end as well, again, we apologize profusely. Second out of 10, ball to 41. 1:32 left here in the first half. Cobras in second place in the North Atlantic Division.
I thought it was going to
Mass Warriors, after the 34-14 loss out in New York, fell to third place. Second down and 10. Bushy fakes. Pressure rolling out. And throws on the sideline. Let's see. This one's going out of bounds. Nothing doing there. 2 completions here for Tim Bushy. They pick up third down and 10. Ball still at the 41. We have 1:23 left here in the first half. Worcester leads 27-7, but the Ravens still have all 3 timeouts, and they get the ball back to start the second half. So if they can stop Worcester here, get the ball back, score a touchdown, and then score to start the second half, we have ourselves a game just like that. As Chris Berman always says, that's why you play the game.
Right now, this is what we should
A lot of people talk about the Ravens stand no chance, but that's why you play the game. 3rd and 10. And a handoff to Gibbons-Perry, and he is wrapped up. Oh, breaks away, still going. Perry still breaking tackles. Gibbons-Perry, what a run. And let's see, they're going to say he has the first down. Wow, what a run there for Xander Gibbons-Perry. And it looks like the clock stopped at 1:12 left. I'm not sure if we might have had a timeout by the Wildcats. I didn't see a ref signal a timeout anywhere, so we're going to stick here with it. Where again, you are watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Stephen Err, calling this game here at General Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. Wildcats looking to go to 3-3 on the year, while the Ravens looking for their first win. 5 teams in the North Atlantic Division: the Wildcats, the Cobras, the Warriors, the Green Jackets, and the Blitzen Bears. Just 4 teams in the Maritime Conference this year: the Bombers out of Braintree, Massachusetts, the New England Bombers out of Braintree, the Rhode Island Riptide, the Connecticut Reapers, and these Vermont Ravens. The Mass Mercenaries out of Boston were supposed to play in the NFL season, their inaugural season, but things fell through right before the season started, so Mercenaries not playing in 2023. Hopefully, we might see them in 2024. Officially, a first down ball is at the Vermont 49. She fakes over the middle, has a man, and what a grab there by Jones. With his fingertips, David Jones able to come up with that one. And then here come the Wildcats. Clock and stop 106. The Wildcats going no huddle. They're trying to score before the end of the half. And now there's Jones coming in motion. Down to the final minute. Ravens not calling any of their timeouts. Not sure why. First down, ball at the 34. Bushy, high snap. Pumps, chucking it on the sideline. Has a man. Touchdown, Worcester! Pass is caught by number 19. And the Wildcats expand on their lead, and now 33-7. Bushy's second touchdown pass of the night. And the offense is clicking on all cylinders here for Worcester. It's something we've yet to talk about thus far. The Wildcats were made fun of after losing last week to the Rhode Island Riptide, a single A team. A lot of people call them the Wild Kitties, which obviously we don't engage in the trash talker in the NFL. We just engage in calling the games for the league, as we appreciate the opportunity. Now, Viana coming off with the extra point. And if you heard the offensive coordinator, as John Brennan tried to come over to tell me, number 19 is Martell Hughes. So we'll have to write that down. Another flag, and this one didn't even get off the ground as Benoit is wrapped up. Another flag. This is going to be the third one against Vermont on an extra point. And that is the story of the game for the Ravens outside of the first drive. So once again, number 19, Martell Hughes. We'll have to write that down for the next time we see these Wildcats. Well, again, we'll talk about that in the second half. And an offside against Vermont is... Are they going to decline it? No, they're not. It was like Worcester's going to take the penalty. They're going to try and get the points again because obviously that ball looked like Viana kicked it, but it never got off the ground. Borfield tried to run with it, and he got nowhere. Once again, the Worcester Wildcats were made fun of for losing to the single A Rhode Island Riptide, who, by the way, are still undefeated, so I don't understand the poking fun of. And now they're showing that they mean business here today. I think 33-7. And the kick is no good. Looked like it might have been blocked. 44 seconds left. 33-7. The Worcester Wildcats lead. The Vermont Ravens will be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. All right, so now we have the name. We're glad to have number 19, Marcel Hughes, is the new receiver for the Wildcats. We didn't see him last week. We saw him there. He had the touchdown. Bushy's second of the day. And it's 33-7 with 43 seconds left. We get out of the window for him. What a hit there. Wow. Wrapped up. Looks like number 59. Let's get you a name. We know we have one here somewhere. Yeah, what a big hit, though. Number 59. We'll get to a name here in a moment. Well, what, again, a big hit. Number 59 for Worcester. Robert Baldwin, there you go. Apologizing once again for the window still. We apologize for the screaming children. It's a family-friendly sport here, semi-pro football. But anyway, let's get back to the action. We're going to zoom in. Sorry about that, folks. Try to get you the best angles possible, as we always do here in the New England Broadcast Network. It's first down Vermont. Ball is at the 38-yard line. Sandy Gibbs-Perry has three rushing touchdowns in the half. Bushy has two touchdown passes. Rose to the sideline, tipped away. What a play there by number 15. Again, let's check if we have a name. Number 15. Intended again for Graves. No number 15 on our roster. Second down, 33 seconds left, excuse me. Ball's at the 38-yard line. Get you some updates from around the league coming up at halftime. Of course, by the time this broadcast is uploaded, all games will be final. Second down to 10 for the Ravens. At the 38, 33 seconds left. Rose. Plenty of time over the middle and caught. Sorry about the camera, folks. We did not pay attention, but the pass is caught. Looks like Graves again. And now the Ravens are no huddle, and we have a whistle. Vermont calls their first time out. We'll take it with them with 26 seconds left. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. Ravens inside Worcester territory, ball at the 45-yard line. They're down 33-7 with 26 seconds left in the first half. I'm Stephen, broadcasting this game for the New England Broadcast Network. Rose pumps over the middle, has a man, pass is caught by Lampier, and down to the 25. Sean Lampier with the grab, and the Ravens are once again driving. Clock stop, 18 seconds. I do apologize, by the way, folks, if you hear me sniffling. I come down with a little bit of little sniffles. I got the suds. We still try to do the best we can here on the New England Broadcast Network. Week number 6 in the 2023 New England Football League season. Worcester looking to get to 3-3 on the year, while the Ravens looking for win number 1. They have 2 shutout losses under their belt, but last week against the New England Bombers, they lost as the Bombers forced the fumble, returned for a touchdown with just 3 seconds left. So they played a very nice game last week, but here today, it's already 33-7 in favor of Worcester. First down, Vermont. Low snap. Rose is going to run, and he's going to be... Oh, they're going to blow the whistle here. And Baldwin again. He had the big hit on the kickoff. Baldwin grabbing the foot of Rose. And the rush just blew the play dead at that point. 12 seconds left. It'll be second out of 15, ball at the 29-yard line. Again, the Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 33-7. The Wildcats have scored on all 5 possessions. And they've not just scored in general, they've scored 5 touchdowns on those 5 possessions. Dominant offensive performance here tonight after last week, falling to the single-A Vermont Riptide, excuse me. And although the Riptide are undefeated, they are 4-0 as of right now. Coach Dennis Faulkner coming off the field. I'm talking to Alan Britton there on defense. They are a single-A team, and a double-A team losing to a single-A team is apparently an upset loss. Go figure. Second out of 15, ball to the 29-yard line. Rose, pressure, rolling out, chucks it to the end zone, has a man wide open, and it is incomplete. Looked like it would have been intercepted, and there he is again. Michael Supiner Jr. We'll get his camera on him. Michael Supiner Jr., his second pass deflection of the day. Again, doing a great job here in coverage. We have 3 seconds left, so this is going to be the final play here of the first half. Get you some updates from around the league coming up at halftime. Or when we begin the second half, we'll do that. So we'll have our halftime show, brief halftime show, coming up right after this. Been a long second quarter. We're already at 38.5 minutes of real time. Maybe a little longer because I paused for commercial breaks. Here we go. Final play of the half. 3 seconds left. Let's zoom out. Why not? Oh, that's a bacon. That was bad. Here we go. Final play of the half. Third down at 15. Rose pumps again. Pressure. Throws. End zone. Pass is intercepted. And there you go. Michael Supiner Jr. bringing it out now from the end zone. Flag is down. Supiner Jr. still going. And finally brought down at the 15, but now there's a flag down. Let's check everything. Hold on. Zoom in. Michael Supiner Jr. finally coming away with an interception. Flag is down. Let's see who it's against. We'll zoom out a little bit here. Not the way the Ravens wanted to end the first half. And halftime. All right. So there you go. The Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 33-7 at halftime. We'll be right back for the halftime show. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. And we welcome you back inside our broadcast with everybody. I'm Stephen Erner. The Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 33-7 at halftime. Both teams scored on their opening possessions here in the first half, but since then it's been all Worcester. Alexander Grids-Perry has 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Tim Bushy has 2 touchdowns, one going to David Jones, and one going to a new guy, Martell Hughes. So let's see if the Ravens can come back in the second half and get that first win here in 2023. By the way, we have some scores updated from around the league. The Goodsville Green Jackets lead the Western Mass Blitz Bears 40-0. That one is headed toward a final as they're playing with a running clock out in Springfield. But for now, we get back to the action here in Worcester. Second half coming up right now. Start of the second half, everybody. The Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 33-7. You're watching a presentation of the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Steven. I'm broadcasting this game from Foley Stadium here in Worcester, Massachusetts. We get the second half underway. We apologize for the camera. And here's Lamp here again, returning the football for Vermont. Down to about the 31. Now we zoom back in. So it's been all Wildcats for most of this game. Vermont did score on their first drive and tied the game at 7. But since then, there's been nothing but miscues here for the Vermont Ravens as they again search for their first win of the 2023 season. Again, the Western Mass Blitz Bears and the Gunsfell's Green Jackets playing out in Springfield at Elizabeth. Let me get this name right. I thought it was Elizabeth Ruth Field. It might be Ruth Elizabeth Field. It is Ruth Elizabeth Field, or the field at Ruth Elizabeth Playground in Springfield. Once again, the Blitz and Bears were not able to play this season at Holyoke High School due to high school renovations to the field and the track. And the score we got was 40-0. Glens Falls all over Blitz and Western Mass playing a running clock game. So that one nearing the end of that one. Western Mass looking at another blowout shutout loss. Can't find my words. Another shutout loss to the Blitz and Bears. There's a flag to start the second half. And they're going to let Rose go, and down he goes. And there's William Fitz with the sack, but a flag. This one should be on Worcester because they let the play go. That's what I'm assuming anyway. We apologize for the buzzing noise, ladies and gentlemen. If it's not on YouTube, well, that's good. But if it is, we apologize profusely. We have a penalty here. Let's check the flag. And it is. It's against Vermont. That play should have been below dead. Nonetheless. Look, I made a personal foul against Vermont. Or something. Play game. I saw the ref hold his arms up to his chest. Wasn't exactly sure what I was looking at. But nonetheless, as we start the second half, everybody, I'm Steven Err, broadcasting this game for the New England Broadcast Network. New England Football League 2023 season, week number 6. Here at Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. Lights are on. It's been all Worcester. Tim Bushy has 2 touchdown passes. One went to David Jones, one to Marcel Hughes. And Danny Gibbons-Perry scored 3 rushing touchdowns. David Gibbons-Perry had 2 rush touchdowns last week. He has 3 here in the first half for the Wildcats. But now it is Vermont's offense here with a first down. Ball's now back at the 31-yard line. Or actually, it's at the 26. Another whistle. That whistle signifies we're ready to go. Back to the action here. First and 15. At the 26. Rose bumps, throws up top. Intercepted, picked off by number 24, and he's going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown. No flags. And now a flag. Mouser's jinx. Intercepted by number 24, Norberto Rowland. But let's check the flag. Ravens leaving off where they left off in the first half. An interception by Norberto Rowland, taken all the way for the touchdown, but there's a flag, so let's check everything. And, well, Wildcats holding their arms up in the air like, touchdown? Question mark? Touchdown it is! The flag is against Vermont. Better, it's picked up. And so, the Wildcats are now up 39-7. A pick 6 for Norberto Rowland. And James Viana is going to look to make this a 40-burger. Actually, we have a guy down somewhere. Off camera. Looks like a Raven is down. Number 11. Can't see it on camera, but number 11 is down. For Vermont, let's get you a name if we have one. Number 11 is Jawan Austin. And now Viana and the special teams will come out for the extra point. Make this a 40-7 game here in Worcester. We'll zoom out just a little bit. There we go, much better. Pick 6. Roberto Roland. And we apologize once again for the buzzing noise. We tried to do our best, but unfortunately our best wasn't good enough this week. Technology, it can help and it can hurt, as I'm sure everybody knows. Here's Viana on for the extra point. Make it a 47 game. And the kick is good. A pick 6 for Roberto Roland. Makes it 40-7 Wildcats all over the Vermont Ravens. We'll be right back. You're watching the New England Football League right here on the New England Broadcast Network. Take a look at the standings here in the NFL Maritime Conference, obviously led by the Riptide, who are 4-0. They'll be off this week. The Bombers at 2-2. They're off this week as well. And the Reapers and Ravens are both winless. With 13:23 left in counting, I guess we're going to start running the clock here in the second half. Worcester leads 47. They're kicking off from their 20-yard line. Viana, a nice kick here, though. And we apologize for the window frame. That's a live ball. Touches one of the Ravens, and he's wrapped up immediately. Looks like number 88, Michael Morrison, leading the way for the Wildcats on the special team. Now we'll zoom in. Vermont comes out for another offensive drive. Now 40-7. Down at the 35-yard line. And the Ravens look like they only travel with 15 guys. Make the 3-4 hour drive here to Massachusetts. And they played the first drive, even the last drive of the first half, which they weren't able to get anything done. They did get pretty far. Unfortunately, start the second half here, they throw a pick 6. Rose throws a pick 6 to Roberto Roland. It is now 40-7. And let's see if we have a running clock here the rest of the way. For now, first down, Vermont at the 35. And a handoff here. Let's see who had the handoff. There is again Robert Norris coming away with the tackle. As you can see, the clock continuing to run, obviously. That's just a positive play there. Game of the week again in Wayland this week as the Mass Warriors host the Middleborough Cobras. Cobras beat the Warriors earlier on the season 13-9 out in Middleborough, so this is the second time those teams are meeting this year. And if with a win, the Cobras can come very much closer to clinching the second seed in the NFL North Atlantic Division, which would mean the Warriors or the Wildcats would have to travel to Middleborough for round 1. Rose on 2nd and 10, rolling out, pressure, Fitz brings him down. William Fitz with the sack. And once again, things not going Vermont's way in this game. Fitz was the only guy there. He was able to wrap Rose up and bring him down. Ended up bringing him even longer, third down. 3rd and 20. Well, like as we like to call it here on the New England Broadcast Network, third in a minivan. Oh, the Ravens continue going backwards in this second half. Looking for that first win. By the way, while we have a little time here, I'm going to congratulate the Bay Area Panthers. They have defeated the Sioux Falls Storm 51-41 in the 2023 Indoor Football League Championship out in Vegas. So the Bay Area Panthers become the second consecutive team to win one game and the championship the year after. Rose pumps, throwing over the middle. It is. What a grab. Brotowski coming down with it. And channeling his inner Odell Beckham Jr. Wow, what a play there by Brotowski. That was impressive. And now a flag. Ref signaling first down, so this flag looks like it's against the Wildcats. Clock now stopped with 10:45 left, third quarter. Worcester leads 40-7 over the Vermont Ravens. So once again, congratulations to the Bay Area Panthers the 2023 Indoor Football League champions. They defeat the Sioux Falls Storm in Curtis Riggs' final game as the owner of the Storm after 20 years out in South Dakota. Bay Area, once again, the second consecutive team to win one game the year prior and win the championship the next year. Not to mention, Sioux Falls becomes the second consecutive team to eliminate the Massachusetts Pirates from the postseason in the first round, only to lose in the championship game. A little thing for my Worcesterites out here in Worcester. Obviously, the Mass Pirates played the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. First down, Rose over the middle and overthrows man. Headed for, looks like Lampier again, Brady 1. Number 0 breaking that one up. The clock continuing to run, 9:50 and counting. So yes, we are going to have a running clock here for just about all of the second half. Unless stated otherwise, which obviously not under my control. It's up to the scoreboard keeper. Or maybe even the refs told him something at halftime to run the clock, because the way this game's going, we're going to be ready to go home pretty soon. And I do apologize, folks, if I sound a little strange. I have come down with the suds. Runny nose, got a big headache. But we're here, as we are every week here on the New England Broadcast Network. Second and 10, Rose. Pressure, and fumble the football, picked up by the Wildcats. And this one's going to be returned all the way. Number 8, there's Politis. Touchdown, Worcester. No flags. The second score for this Worcester defense. It is now 46-7. Worcester making a statement here tonight against the Ravens. As now, the defense has as many touchdowns as Bushy does. Dan Bushy has 2 touchdown passes. The defense has 2 touchdowns of their own. It's 46-7, 8.5 left in the third quarter. So we're seeing a couple blowouts here, week number 6 here in the New England Football League. Obviously, Glens Falls Green Jackets are well on their way to a win over the Western Mass Blitzen Bears. Score was 40-0 last time we got an update. And right here in Worcester, it's 46-7. We did not get an update from the game between the Warriors and Cobras, the game of the week out in Wayland. We'll be sure to get to that in the fourth quarter. After this video is paused for our quarter break. Viano now off for the extra point. And the kick is good. 47-7 with 7:47. Try saying that 5 times fast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. You're watching the NFL right here on NEBN. Defense with their second touchdown of the night. It is 47-7 Worcester all over the Vermont Ravens, who was 6:18 and counting. So we officially do have a running clock for the rest of this game. So we'll be out of here a little faster than we might have expected, as this kickoff was taken up to 25 and down to about the 35-yard line, so about a 10-yard gain. It was just part of the frame. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the windows, when they open here at Foley, are so small, you're bound to get a shot of the frame here on the broadcast. So we do apologize, but really, there's not much we can do with that. Just got to make do with what we got. Kind of like Worcester's done so far. Again, after last week where they were mocked for losing to the single-A Riptide, who are still undefeated, by the way, which makes no sense to me. Have a few players calling them the Wild Kitties. A 21-20 loss to the Riptide, a single-A team. They're showing they mean business here today. They lead 47-7 with 5:20 left in the third and counting. Vermont coming out for another drive. I believe this is their third drive. On the last 2 drives, they've given up defensive scores. So let's see what their offense could do now here. Apologize for the camera, folks. I'm sitting down in a chair. Standing up is a little too much. But we have great camera work here from yours truly. Rose throws short and incomplete. And again, miscommunication between Rose and his running back. This one, Benoit, unable to come up with the catch. Once again, we want to congratulate the Bay Area Panthers, the 2023 Indoor Football League champions. They defeated the Sioux Falls Storm in Curtis Riggs' final game as the owner of the Storm. After 20 years in the sport of indoor football, Final score 51-41 out at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Other indoor football, or arena football I should say, arena football postseason. The National League are hosting their postseason here tonight. The Jacksonville Sharks are hosting the Orlando Predators in a classic rivalry. While the Carolina Cobras are hosting the San Antonio Gunslingers. Rose rolling out and wrapped up. Number 28 got there first for Worcester. Let's see if we have a name for number 28. We do. That is Brian Borfield. It might actually be 28. I don't think the kicker is there on defense. So it might have been 26, Al Price. And now coming on your screen, this is very interesting. Number 91, Bianca Corvo. Ladies and gentlemen, Bianca Corvo is a woman. Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be out there for any reason whatsoever. I am big on empowering women. I am just shocked to see a female playing football here tonight in Worcester. She was there last week against the Riptide, but I had thought that maybe I shouldn't say anything about it, but I was told there's no problem with it, so I'll bring it up. Number 91, Bianca Corvo, a female playing defense. She's lined up on the defensive line. Now she's a linebacker. She's coming up as Rose here. Our flag is down. Rose is going to run. This looks like it's a free play for Vermont. Gets to about the 37-yard line. It looks like this flag is against Worcester. Let's check the flag, though. We'll find out. So I just found that very interesting that there is a female playing for the Worcester Wildcats here today and throughout the season. I love seeing it. I really do. I empower women to do whatever they want. And seeing a woman on a man's football team, I mean, that's nothing new. We see it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. But it's just every time you see it in person, it's just very cool to see. So credit to the Wildcats for doing what they do. And actually, the flag is a false start against Vermont. I'm not sure why they didn't blow that play dead. But nonetheless, Vermont, once again, backing up. Story of the game for the Ravens, who are going to fall to 0-4. And we'll still have the second worst record in the league, as the Western Mass Blitzen Bears will fall to 0-5. So I think it's safe to say that Western Mass Blitzen Bears, after today's game, have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. And unfortunately for the 2022 North Atlantic Division champions, also the 2021 North Atlantic Division champions, they are the only team that will be eliminated from the postseason here in 2023. Again, 4 teams in the Maritime Conference all are going to the postseason, including the Winless Reapers and Winless Ravens, and 5 teams in the North Atlantic Division. Unfortunately for the Blitzen Bears, they are the only winless team. They are dead last. And Worcester, with the win here, will go to 3-3. They'll have a big lead in 3rd place, or 4th place out of 5, over the Blitzen Bears. And with the win, I believe Glens Falls might have clinched the playoff spot. We'll have to find out. Oh, they're punting here on 4th down, so let's punt there by Jacob, It picked up. And it looks like number 8. Here he comes. On the sideline, still going. Couple minute beat, breaks off, and brought down at about the 43-yard line. So with 45 seconds left, we're going to keep it here until the end of the 3rd quarter because there's no reason for us to keep moving. To pause for no point pausing here. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the scoreboard. We're going to zoom back in so we have the best possible view of the field. We have 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if we have an update from the Cobras and the Warriors game. Again, these 2 teams meet for the 2nd time. Cobras defeated the Warriors 13-9. I believe that was week number 2 out in Middleborough, Massachusetts. Beautiful Battis Field. We will be there in a few weeks. Stay tuned for those updates as they become available. Well, the clock is now stopped at 11 seconds left. And now the clock has 50 minutes on it. So there's a little screw up there. I'm not sure what's going on there. We have 11 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 47-7. And we'll flip sides. That's the end of 3. We'll be right back. 4th and final quarter coming up right here on the New England Broadcast Network. Start of the 4th quarter, everybody. The Worcester Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 47-7. I'm Steven, broadcasting this game. Here you are watching a presentation of the New England Football League here on the New England Broadcast Network. As we have a Wildcat down. No update from the Warriors-Cobras game, unfortunately. Oh, we'll have to stay tuned to the official NFL Players Forum for the final score of that game. Game of the week here in week number 6. And now, no injured Wildcat down. So everybody looks all right. Everybody watched their Worcester Whalers hockey. Again, bad joke, dad joke. Make one every week. Let's come up with a new one next week. Running clock here in the fourth quarter. The Wildcats will improve to 3-3, barring some catastrophic meltdown here tonight. I'm not sure who they play next week, but we will get to where we will be next week. We have a huge game next week coming up. Second down, 15. Bushy hands off, and we have a new running back in here, and it looks like a big run there. Number 35, there he goes! Down the sideline, nobody's going to get him! Into the end zone for the touchdown! Touchdown, Worcester! And a big run there. Let's see if we have a name. Number 35, we do not. But again, the Worcester offense exploding on all cylinders. It is now 53-7. PA announcer John Brennan asking if I know who that was. I do not, unfortunately. Again, not listed on the NFL website. Well, we do know that is the 4th rushing touchdown of the night for the Worcester offense. It's 53-7, a 50 burger, as everybody likes to call it, the 50 burger. Viana looking to make it 54-7. That's a good running clock. Now we will take breaks. We're not going to be on this whole time because if we are, we'll be here for. Well, I mean, we had this problem last year when we had the Wildcats game against the Blitzen Bears. We lost almost the entire first half because the camera ran out of storage. Go figure. Again, technology. It can help, and it can hurt. 53-7, Worcester leads. Viana on for the extra point. I'll apologize for the camera. And a little blurry coming back, and the kick is good. 54-7, excuse me. We'll be right back. You're watching the NFL right here on NEBN. 54-7, 10:51. And counting. Nice kick here again by Viana. You're watching the New England Football League here on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Stephen Herr here at Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. This one taken from the 1-yard line, and the Ravens are going to start with absolutely the worst field position of the day. No question about that. As we zoom in now, hopefully the brightness from these lights won't affect the outcome of the camera. Well, once again, we had another postponement here today. The Connecticut Reapers game against the Rhode Island Riptide was postponed to a date to be decided due to field issues for the second time this year with the Connecticut Reapers. Speaking of the Riptide, the New England Broadcast Network game of the week. In the NFL week number 7, we will be in Cranston, Rhode Island for the 3rd time in 5 weeks as the Mass Warriors take on the Rhode Island Riptide. The Riptide will have faced their toughest opponent this year. Will be those Mass Warriors next week out in Middleborough, out in Cranston. So that's going to be a huge matchup. Riptide Warriors next week on the New England Broadcast Network as Rose on first down throws. Incomplete. Intended for Lamp here. 9:28 counting. Once again, we will be in Cranston, Rhode Island for the big matchup next week as the Rhode Island Riptide look to remain undefeated, but they'll take on their toughest opponent yet, the Mass Warriors. Again, no update, unfortunately, from that game out in Wayland tonight between the Warriors and the Cobras, so we will wait for the official word from the official NFL Players Forum. I have to zoom in here a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Not just too much. And zoom in. Here. Apologize for the camera, folks. Try to get the best angle we possibly can. Second down at 10. Rose from his own end zone. Pressure. Down he goes. And that is a safety. Leading away, number 14, Marcus Rodriguez. I got that name right. I believe I did. Marcus Rodriguez with the safety. And now we have a football score. It's 56-7. 8:30 and counting. That's the 3rd defensive score? Question mark? I believe that's a defensive score, if you count that in the football rule book. So now the defense has more points than Tim Bushy does. Bushy has 12 points. And metaphorically speaking here. Bushy has 12 points. Worcester's defense now has 14. If you don't count the extra points, they have 14. So again, New England Football League, week number 6 here from Worcester, Massachusetts. We will be back here, I'll mention it now, in 2 weeks as the Worcester Wildcats take on the Mass Warriors for the second time. Those two teams met back in, I believe, week 4, and the Warriors won that game. It was week 3. Warriors won that game 23-15. It was just an 8-point win for the Warriors out in Wayland over the Wildcats. Michael Seifert makes his return to Worcester. He was the Wildcat backup running back. Him and Givens Perry shared snaps last year for the Wildcats. Seifert was supposed to play with the Marlboro Shamrocks of the ECFL. Fortunately, things have fallen through that we don't know, we won't talk about, in respecting Michael Seifert's privacy, but he has since joined the Mass Warriors. He's back in the NEFL, and he makes his return to Worcester August 19th as the Wildcats host the Warriors in New England Football League Game of the Week on New England Broadcast Network, week number 8. For now, it is 56-7. The Wildcats are all over the Ravens, and now here is the safety punt, or they call it the free kick, from what I know. This one taken into Vermont territory. Darius Givens still going. We're going to have to zoom in here. Darius Givens still going down inside. Though at the 11-yard line, a flag is down. A big return for Darius Givens, but the flag is down. We're going to have to zoom out just a little bit here. 6:20 left and counting here on this ball game. A huge return for Darius Givens, who plays 3 different positions on defense alone. He gets the ball down to the 11, but there is a flag. We'll wait for the call. Let's see if the Wildcats start once again with great field position. And now another flag's been thrown. They're going to throw a flag on the Vermont coach. I'm not sure if he's going to be ejected, but the ref took his hat off. So let's see what they call here. Obviously, you saw the flag against. You see the Vermont coach over there on the sideline. We're going to zoom out so we don't give all the attention over there to the. Well, the flag is against Worcester, but then there was another flag against Vermont's coach. So unfortunately for Darius Givens, a big return for big nothing. And that was not supposed to be funny, so please don't laugh. As you look at the... Oh God, I wish you guys could see that. To hear the geese just quacking. As now they'll fly over the stadium here in a flock. It's very nice to see in real time. Unfortunately, you might have seen it on camera. We're under 5 minutes left here in this game. And the Worcester Wildcats are on their way to beat 500 once again, as they lead 56-7 over the Vermont Ravens, who will fall to 0-4. They are in last place in the Maritime Conference because Connecticut is 0-2. They've had 2 games, and we have looks like an unsportsmanlike against Vermont. They'll bring the ball up to the, about the 35-yard line. Yes, it is the 35-yard line of Vermont. So first down, Worcester. Selig going in motion. Handoff here to number 35 again, and he's wrapped up almost immediately, that time by number 45. Let's get to a name for number 45 if we have one. We do. Anderson Sanan with the tackle there, and we are at the 4-minute mark here on this game. So Wildcats lead the Vermont Ravens 56-7. This has been, and still is, a presentation of the New England Football League here on the New England Broadcast Network. My name is Stephen Herr. We're here at Foley Stadium in Worcester, Massachusetts. We hope the music playing doesn't interfere with us putting this game on YouTube, because obviously I want to get this out to the league, to the players, so everybody can have some film study for next week's games. Week number 7 coming up next week. Again, we'll be in Cranston, Rhode Island, as the Rhode Island Riptide look to remain undefeated at the biggest test of the year against the Mass Warriors. Hand off here again to 35. Bumps off a tackle, break a tackle, still going. And inside the 30 to about the 27. That's a gain of 8. It'll be 3rd down and 2 as we reach the 3:15 mark in this one. The clock's been running the whole half. After what we saw at the first half, ref said, let's just wind this clock down for the rest of the game, and then we'll go home. The clock has stopped actually once. I lied. The clock has stopped once in this second half. For what, I don't know. But for the most part, it's been a running clock the entire second half, excuse me. And again, the Worcester Wildcats go improve to 3-3 after this one. 56-7 is your score. They lead the Vermont Ravens. And at this point, you probably see Tim Bushy just give a couple handoffs out to the running back. Give it to Perry. You see him right there coming on your screen, number 7. He hasn't played this half. He scored 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half. What does he need to play this one for? Been all Worcester outside of the first drive here for the Ravens. They tied the game. Well, that was it. They haven't done much since. So we're close to 2 minutes left. Bushy chucks it down the sideline and out of the reach of Michael Morrison. Morrison doesn't have a catch in this game. And then we are under 2 minutes here in this one. I don't know why they're throwing here. Just kind of looks like they're just trying to run the score at this point. 56-7. At this point, if you're Worcester, you give the ball, you hand the ball off, and you go home. Because that's all you need to do at this point. Hand the ball off, and we go home. A couple more times. We're at a minute and a half, so you have to run the ball at least 3 more times here on, then we can wrap it up. Again, week number 7, we will be in Cranston, Rhode Island. A big game between the Mass Warriors and the Rhode Island Riptide. And if the Riptide fall for the first time this season, well, let's just say I had to do some scheduling updating. Because I had some games I wanted to get to for the Riptide, including that regular season finale in Braintree against the New England Bombers, should they be looking to go 10-0 on the season. Or 9-0. Pushing it off number 35, cutting out to the right. Zoom in, because number 35 has some room, and cutting inside, still going, inside the 20 to the 15, it's still going. Out of bounds about the 14-yard line as we reach the final minute here in this game. So again, we're at this point, again, running the ball a few times, let's go home. Sorry to apologize for the blurry there. That happens on and off, I don't know why. We thank everybody who's watched this broadcast here at the New England Football League on the New England Broadcast Network. I'm Stephen Err, broadcasting this game from Foley Stadium here in Worcester, Massachusetts. We'll be back here August 19th as the Wildcats host the Warriors. So the reason I didn't go to Wayland this week is because we're already covering the Warriors the next 2 games. I didn't want to cover them 3 games in a row, trying to get as much coverage to every team in the league as we possibly can. Now let's see if they run a play here. They might not even run a play. This might be the end right here. But let's see. And it will not. And that's it. Your final score. The Worcester Wildcats defeat the Vermont Ravens 56-7. For the Worcester Wildcats, for the Vermont Ravens, for the New England Broadcast Network, and for the New England Football League, I'm Stephen Err. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next week. Good night from Worcester, Massachusetts.